Yeah, so the important thing is, obviously, you know, it's been kind of fantastically investigative for us actually doing this project, but for one thing, because we're architecture students, we don't really know how to do websites, so we've been sort of learning it as we go along. Tom has got a lot of credit goes to him for learning some of these strange techniques of how to do these. But it's really important that this is something that goes somewhere. It's not a finished story. So we've already been discussing the idea of possibly Selby College being involved with the website management, and that would be really, really important to get people developing this site so it doesn't just sit there and stagnate. And we're preparing a document to hand over so they will have all the information available about how to do this and ideas to take it forward. But also, as you can see, we've been speaking to lots of people, but you just can't speak to enough people. And it's really important, really, is about getting people on board. And this is one of the drawings that we did early on, where we wanted to consider not just the idea of a website, which is an idea here, or the idea of a bricks and mortar museum, but in between there could be hundreds of ideas, hundreds of different technologies, mobile phones, mobile museums, a shop front, a temporary stall, the idea of having viewers in the town. Now all of them require different kinds of people, different amounts of money. And we thought, oh well, that would be a whole load of options. And actually what we've learned is it's not really, it's more like a journey. And so we've started here. The website is the first step. And if we can use that as a tool to get lots of people kind of talking to each other and joined in and sharing all their stories, and that website gets more and more and more full, and that could be an opportunity to start here and start working somewhere in that direction.
Can I just quickly chip in? We've also sort of tentative steps with the schools in terms of beginning to investigate whether some of this could be incorporated into some of the sort of curriculum work, so that the school children could start to contribute to the website that might then hopefully be taken on by, say, Selby College to then actually make it happen.
And we have got a backup in case Selby College don't take it on as well.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any comments?
It is up and running, is it?
It is up. It's online now. We haven't officially launched it onto the site. It will just be. It's called This Is Selby.
We could still get into it now.
Yes. Yeah. It's up there. So as of now,
Do you know the address?
I've got it. This one Selby. This is Selby.
That's right, with the dashes in between.
The dashes in between.
This, not
This, there,
That doesn't happen.
this.
Have you considered incorporating any general
Yeah, obviously, because of the time constraints that we had on us, what we wanted to do was establish, if you like, a kind of framework, a sort of strategy towards doing it. So we,
at least one person that has a similar archive.
I think you can see this expanding in lots of ways. The time map could get more and more dense and more time. And you'll probably noticed on the time map, there's also the future. And that would be a really interesting tool to use to get a public debate about where might the future go. But also, yeah, it would be great to expand outwards. The limitations of the map were established purely by the mapping data that was available to us. And a lot of that was credit to the Sheffield University team that did the project last year. Thank you. They'd already plotted in a whole load of digital maps of history, so we could just work from there and represent it. But with more mapping information and more people working on it, and an archivist and so on and so forth, there's no reason why it shouldn't just be expanded.
I definitely know it's a village archive. There's some information for Pete, bringing in Pete.
Yeah, the point I just want to make was obviously within the subgroup, we've got the role of Heritage Education Officer post with groundwork take part, and we've obviously already discussed in terms of who could take this forward and work with the schools, because actually it's embedding it within the curriculum of the primary schools, and I think Selby Higher are involved somewhere along the line as well, but basically within the primary schools. So we've actually have a capability to take this forward. It's not something that we were quite keen early on to say we don't want it to gather dust on the shelf sort of thing, and I think we do have great opportunity, and I've been minor involved in it, but I've seen it evolve, etc. And to me, it's an excellent opportunity, and I think all credit should go to the guys, particularly when you're not even web designers, IT designers, etc. But it's very courageous to put something up, actually using a medium and when you're architecture students and things like that. So again, I'd like to personally thank the guys for all the work that's actually been given. And I think they've also been out interviewing people, etc. And I think there's like I say, a wealth of material available.
There is an opportunity, and then I'll say
if you want historical information, there's nobody in this room more up to date than the gentleman sat here, and I've really talked to him. His knowledge is absolutely terrific of, you know, past things that's happened in Selby.
Sadly, we didn't have time to read your book, I'm afraid.
Okay. Any other points that
I think it's bloody fantastic.
Yeah.
Really am impressed.
I was going to come on and say, just say a word about things. Thinking back to our heritage subgroup, those of you that have been to the heritage group, by magic almost, you guys have actually interpreted everything we were thinking about, what we're actually struggling to do. We've got all this information and we haven't got a clue about how we would actually do it. We knew we couldn't ever go to the stage, I don't think, of having a museum, because it was one of the problems was how would we actually run that, who would man it, and it was just too big a problem for us. We had the idea of a website, but nothing like what you come up with. It's absolutely fantastic. And the thing that's really amazed me is the speed that you've come up with. Thinking, is this week 5 now? Yeah. In 5 weeks, I'm awestruck in the time that what you produced in that time. So really well done. And I'd just like perhaps people to give a round of applause. Yeah.